Good morning, guys. Steve Collins here, and I'm going to do something kind of special. I'm going to read the first chapter of the book that I've written, and so don't stare at my face, just listen to the content, okay? It's entitled, Do You See What I See? One of the things I remember distinctly as a child was my father's interest in Corvettes. He was the manager of a body shop for one of the busiest car retailers in America, and his greatest hobby was restoring and racing Corvettes. I remember distinctly getting up real early one Saturday morning to go look for a potential purchase with him. I believe I was about 10 years old. After what seemed to be a very, very long drive, we finally arrived at the gentleman's house. It was a trashy, trashy place. Huge yard. The grass didn't look like it had been cut in months. There were junk cars all over the place. The house was in desperate need of maintenance, and the trees were overgrown. Basically, the whole place was just completely unimpressive. We walked with the owner, an older man with gray hair, wearing a white stained tank top, old torn blue jean shorts, and worn out flip-flops, back to a very old, rusty barn. We walked past a ton of junk cars, tires, wheels, metal contraptions, rusting metal junk everywhere, weeds that were taller than me. It was just a wreck. As he slowly opened the creaking door, he looked down very quickly, as if expecting something to run out of the barn. Instantly, the smell of old wood, mold, grass, and motor oil flowed from the opening. And there in the very back of the barn, behind more junk than I'd ever seen, was an old, dusty, torn, gray tarp. Now, having seen many vets in my short life, I could actually make out the body lines under the tarp. Man, was I excited. Finally, what we'd come to see. The old man grabbed the front of the tarp with both hands and quickly snapped it off the car as bright, previously invisible rays of sunshine now filled the dark, musty barn. As the dust began to settle, I could begin to make out the car. There in front of me was one of the ugliest cars I had ever seen in my life. You see, older Corvettes were made out of fiberglass, so this one had torn fiberglass, a missing fender, broken windshield and windows, no wheels or tires. The paint was horribly faded where you could see it, rust everywhere on the metal parts. It even had grass growing up through the baseboards underneath the car, through the steering wheel and out the broken windows. A worthless piece of junk, beyond help. As I stood there disappointed and in shock, I turned around quickly so that I could join with my father's great displeasure at this complete waste of our time. And that's when I saw it. I caught that look in my father's eyes. I still remember it like it was yesterday. It was the way that I might today look at a stunning black Lamborghini on a showroom floor underneath all of the lights in perfect condition. I couldn't even say anything to my father because I was so shocked at the look on his face. He had a huge grin and a sparkle in his eyes, and I knew we were going to go home with that piece of junk. You see, I was looking what I saw in front of me, an old, beat up, been through the ringer, wrecked, stuff missing, ugly, filthy piece of junk. But my father, no, he didn't see that. My father saw the finished product. In his mind's eye, he saw the potential. He saw it complete, everything in place, everything perfect, everything looking amazing, and he knew he had the skills and the ability to get it there. No, my father didn't see a piece of junk that day. He saw a masterpiece. And God's kind of like that when he looks at us. We tend to look at ourselves through eyes of comparison, whether it be comparing ourselves to ourselves, who we want to be, who we've been, comparing ourselves to others around us. We each have an image of ourselves, and most of us have some things about ourselves that we really don't like and we really struggle with. Many times that image, how we feel about ourselves, keeps us from connecting with our Father in heaven. We can be ashamed, embarrassed, feel alienated, unloved, and quite frankly, just unworthy to be seen or known by an amazing holy God. What we don't realize is that our Father is looking upon us as a finished product. He's seeing who and what he created us to be. He's seeing the completed work. He promised that he would carry his work on to completion, and he doesn't see us as we see ourselves. He sees the magnificence that he created and what we will be when we allow him to mold us. Ask him to help you see yourself the way he sees you, so that you can enjoy your relationship with him and understand that that he enjoys you right where you are, just like you are, because he sees you as a finished work, complete, beautiful, and a masterpiece. Have a great day.